I'm doing pretty good today. I'm tight in the hips here. So for today, I'm still working on my lateral lines. I'm gonna do some side crunches today. I'm also going to roll out right here on my neck, a little bit of my chest, and a little bit of my hips because I feel like my hips really need it to get going. So with my hips right now, right, I kind of feel it right there, and this is the typical like, okay, I when people feel their hips and they feel like a tightness, a lot of times you just want to go into it and stretch it. However, this is key being in good position because if you look, right, my hips, they're already, I would say, they're turned out, so they already have length. So if I just go into it and stretch it more like this, I'm just doing myself a disservice because the problem is that they're not connected here. I need to get them up and back here. And I'll show you kind of from the side, right? So if I need more weight back on my heels, and if I need my sideline working, so as I'm standing here, again, I'll kind of show you. So I want you to see how the pressure is forward on the front of my toes, and I can't just jam the pressure back because if I just jam the pressure back, so that's the cue, oh, push through your heels, right? But if I don't have my core engaged, if I'm here and I just go into it and I just push on my heels, you can see how my butt lifts up here, and then I have this contraction here. So it's just causing another compensation. What I need to do is I need to, through my core, engage my hip flexors to bring my butt down so then I can allow myself to be on my heels. And that's the key about connecting the body because the smallest things, the smallest cues make the difference. And this could be, doing all your exercise like this could be your Achilles heel because then something will happen and then boom, there goes your back. Right? So that's why I'm so focused on the core and I always do a core exercise every day. And that's why. So I feel my hips. So the first thing I'm going to do is take this ball. I'm going to drive right into here. I'll lower this down a bit. Okay. So this is just what I feel. I actually didn't have this plan for today, but I woke up and I'm like, you know what? I need to get into the outside of the hip flexors. And then I need to, and that's because I did some hip stuff yesterday, but it still needs length. So as I'm doing this exercise here, I'm trying to pull my stomach up and in, and I'm trying to promote my butt to contract and squeeze as I'm into my hip. So it's almost like instead of me being collapsed, I'm trying to get a lift from my hip flexor. So as I drive my hips forward onto it, I want to feel my butt contract a little bit. Good. And I'm just doing small motions. Yeah, so I'm starting to feel like my body move a little bit better, connections. I'm also feeling where I'm sore a lot more. So to connect the core, what I haven't done is I haven't worked through the chest and through the upper body yet, and I really need to start tackling those areas. So I think like later on this week, I'm going to show you, I'm going to go into the spiral line and start connecting some stuff and doing some motion. So again, right, I'm on the middle of my hip flexor, pulling in, contracting my glute. Right. And I'm starting a little bit to the outside and then working my way in because it's easier for me to contract the side here of the butt than it is for me to go straight down. So as my hips start to open, it will allow my butt to naturally contract to start my motions. Good. Okay, so now I just rolled this out, and now I'm going to take that into some movement. So from here, I'm actually going to push the back of my heels in, and I'm going to lean back on my quads. So this is key because I'm pulling myself back as I push my feet in back here. So as I push the back of my feet in, I'm lifting up, and then I'm moving from side to side. And again, the spaces I just opened, right? So like I just opened my hip, so I'm pushing that hip to the floor. I'm pulling my stomach up because that's key. So I'm not rotated out. And then I'm getting the motion back and side to side. So if you can't do this, I like doing it like on the floor with gravity. You can put your foot on a chair and try the quad stretch, but just make sure that you rotate the leg, because I'm trying to promote movement, like around the thigh. This side is key. That way, motion doesn't just happen like front, back, like this, or like this in one plane. It rotates, it turns. Like if you look at any dancer, the movement flows. So what I'm trying to do is I'm not just trying to drive in and pull back on my quads. I'm actually trying to get movement into them as well. And that's like any mobility. So like if I were to define mobility, I would define it as controlled motion where you're pushing against the ground and you're trying to open up the tissues or a joint slowly to get the full range of motion. So that's what I'm trying to do here. And this is really tight. So I can find like, I can roll a little bit better onto my right than I can my left. Good, okay. So from here, I'm gonna do side crunches today. So I'm actually going to tackle what I talked about, the sideline I talked about from the neck to the foot. So, right, my right side tends to drop a bit here. So I'm gonna tackle the line right at the front behind my ear. So I'm literally gonna take this right by my ear here and lie down on it. Perfect. All right. And this is the reason on this side is because this is how I talk on the phone on my right side, I rotate on my right side, I look, and then also when I have my phone, I bring it across the body on my right side. And that's why. And a lot of these issues too, like what I'm trying to fix is, I don't want it to be perfect. I'm not trying to have perfect posture. I'm just trying to feel my body again, right? I'm just trying to feel the connections. So when I'm doing the exercises, I'm not feeling it in one spot. Like I'm feeling the entire line and I'm like, okay, you know what? This burns, but I can go with this. Because you could be stacked. There is no perfect. Everyone's a little bit different. And everyone can use different techniques, but if the flow needs to go from the ground out through either the head or the tip or wherever it's going from. If it breaks or kinks somewhere in the body, and that's how you cause an injury. Good. So have this rolled out now. The next thing is, here, I'll show you. I need to get into my chest today. And this is really key, and I'll show you why. Okay, so, so as I stand here, right, I'm trying to promote this, I guess like the extra force, pressure that's down, up into my chest, okay? However, my chest is tight, so I need to open my chest, especially like for me, I was breastfeeding for 2 years, right? I'm dropped, I've been carrying things hunched over. This needs promoted because like I said, I need to feel the feeling from here out to here to get that open chest area, to get everything moving in order. So take a look at my chest, like up here, right? This is my breath. Engage. This is me relaxed. So I just want to take a picture. Up and controlled. Good, and relax. So you can see, right? One thing is on the exhale, if I relax, it drops. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to not work out in a collapsed position. So I'll repeat that a couple times because I need to be able to take this core strength and not be able to hold it or tighten it or just be able to control it so I don't drop. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to start rolling out my chest right where I feel it drop. So if you look like right here, that's where it's dropping. I need to promote those fibers up. So I'm going to take this ball here and literally I'm going to roll out and open, out and open. Same on this side, out and open, out and open. This is going to really hurt, but I really need this. This will be very beneficial for me. Okay. Because I can't get into my core unless I open up my ribs, and I can't open up my ribs unless I open up my chest. So I start on this side first. So what I'm doing here is taking the fiber, placing it right on the chest area, and I'm going to find the tension. I don't have to go far for this. And this is key because there's another arm fascial line that connects from the sternum right here, so the breastbone to the tip of my fingers. So I'm trying to get it away from the breastbone. I'm trying to move the fibers out. I'll breathe in as I do that. Good. So right here, I'll hold it for a bit, and then I'll push. Hold it for a bit. Breathe into it. Push. So this is like when you look at someone and you can see that their chest is not filled out and they have like a sunken look to them, then you know, okay, like their gut is kind of taking over and pulling all that pressure down, and they need the lift because they need it back up, the breath to come back up in through the chest and in through the ribs. All right, and you'll see the difference because as I start to open up the chest and the core line, and like with this, my body will change drastically, but my weight will stay the same. But like then all of a sudden, I'll look taller. My muscles will have more definition, right? I'll have better feeling. I'll feel better. So like all these things will come in. Not because I'm beating myself up trying to do a program that someone gave to me, but because I'm trying to feel what is where it's tight and I'm trying to reconnect it. And then I can do all those crazy exercises. Okay, so I'll have to work on that a little bit more, but I'll go back to the breath. So here I am. Okay, I'm gonna breathe. Try to get that expansion. Okay, so now I'm going to push my feet, lift. So you see the difference? Lift, lift. And I want you to look at my ribs. Lift, good. And then I can breathe. Good, and that's what I want. I want to be able to breathe without this collapsing on me, even throughout the day. I don't want it collapsing on me throughout the day either. Okay, so from here, I'm gonna go right into my side crunches. Before I do, I'm just gonna do some exercise, quick exercise, like lift this up a touch before I go into my side crunches. So still working on the lateral line, have my lift, okay? Then from here, I'm pushing my foot. So this is happening from the foot. So I'm lifted, I'm engaged. From here, I'm driving my heel down as I allow my hip to come up and I allow the top to stretch. So I'm gonna do this mobility as an exercise. 6, I'll do 10. And then a lot of times people ask me, how many sets and reps can I do? Well, a lot of times if you do the exercise right, you'll know when to stop because the second you fail, the exercise is done. So a lot of times, like my clients, I say like do 8. Like, could you imagine? Everyone wants like 3 sets of 12 to get through the exercises, but we're trying to connect ourselves. So how you connect yourself unfortunately, is slow and controlled, right? Slow exercises, targeting the right spot with the right tension. So a lot of times they'll only be able to do like six reps with the proper breath, with the proper form. And then they're burnt out. So like I feel myself coming back here more, so I just have to 2, 1. Okay. Now I can go into my side crunches. So with this, I know my side is not perfect, it's not strong. I'm gonna have to probably modify this. But like I said, I'll do what I feel. So starting here, I'll start on, you know what, let's start on my good side. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Okay, lateral line, here we go. So I'm gonna place this on my ribs underneath the ball. Okay, so I'm going to do a side crunch. Okay, but I need that length first because I want to take it, I want to lengthen it, I want to contract in, contract in. So first things first is back leg goes behind, straight. And then what happens is I'm going to rotate my hip. So it's not, right now, can't see, but if my thumb is where it's pointed to the wall, now it's pointed straight. So now the bottom half is set. Now I need to get core, okay, up and in, head back. So I'm trying to push off the floor, get my hip up. There you go. So here's relax, tension, okay? Straighten myself up. And then from here, I'm going to pull everything up, inhale. Feel the length, inhale. And then I'm gonna exhale, drive the stomach in. And I'm just trying to close this space. Honestly, I'm just trying to lengthen, close, lengthen, close, keeping long. So I exhale and I exhale significantly harder because I'm trying to, on the exhale, I'm trying to keep my pressure to keep my pelvis so I don't collapse. And I'm trying to drive the stomach in. So inhale, get my brace, exhale. Right, and you can see this, like, all start shaking. If I hold this right here, right, the line's connected, like all this, and I'll just start shaking and hold it, hold it, hold it. Inhale, brace, exhale. It's about shortening and then pushing into it. Good. I hope you guys can see the shaking. This is really good. And like I feel the burn here. And that's really what I'm looking for. I'll do like 2 more. Inhale, brace, chest back, get the lift. Inhale, exhale. Good. Okay. So it's just key. I didn't care about the sets and reps. I was just trying to feel the side here. Okay, so now I will go to the other side. This side will be a little bit more difficult for me, so we'll see how this goes. All right. And so there's this one book, I think it's Body by Science. And really what he says is to get the most out of your workouts, you want time over tension. So you just want to, so literally what he did was he just took 60% of his max and he went as slow as he can. I want to say like 10 seconds per rep. So if he was going through the movement, it was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hold 10 back, 1, 2. So he just went super slow for 60% of his max until he burnt out. And he was taking his muscles through the entire motion, but time over tension. So they had tension the entire time through the workout. So I've tried this a couple times and like you are so sore, it's crazy. But it also helps build the connections, right? And that's what I always find, like with rehab, with everything. It's always slow. What do you feel? Okay. So now going into it here. Let's see. So leg a little bit back, hip, right? You can see with a hip, but my core is dropped. So then from my hip, connect. Okay, down here, no, here. Okay, head, back. So with this side wants to do this. I'm not gonna let it do this because this side wants to collapse. So I'm gonna hold it, head back, inhale, exhale. And I don't care that I can't go as high. I care right now that I'm shaking and I feel it. And that's it. Like exercise, I find like it's about you. It's about you like discovering and coming back into your body rather than being in your head. Inhale, brace, exhale. Good. I'll probably do about 2 more. So I'm feeling this a lot here. I'm going to try to turn, try to push up. Again, last time. Inhale, brace, exhale. There we go. 3, 2, 1. Okay. So with that one, I'm just going to do a stretch here. I feel my rotation spot kicking in. So I think I'm going to post it tomorrow. I'll post the lateral line tomorrow. No, sorry, not the spiral line. The spiral line so you can see what's going on, which is the most complex line. And I'll work on that. So if you're with me today, thank you very much. I'll do a couple more side crunches and everything. Try to connect, trying to get the chest lifted. But I'm already feeling a little bit better, so that's good. And thank you, and I'll see you tomorrow.